The Green Lantern scene that was cut from Zack Snyder's Justice League has finally been released. No, it hasn't. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
The image is released.
it's a. I was in a bathroom and there was this like hard drive
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
in
Where
the
are you going
toilet,
with this?
and I roll up my sleeve. I put my hand down the toilet, and Jared Leto was there. No, but there was a hard drive, and I got to watch the
We are
Justice League scene.
live.
And what?
We are live.
Oh, okay, sorry. No, I'm saying the hard drive where Zach said
Yeah,
that
yeah.
there was a hard drive in the toilet of the Snyder Cut. But no, it had Tom Cruise, Ryan Reynolds, and Wayne T. Carr and Sam Benjamin as the Green Lanterns. But, no, but the Restore the Snyderverse campaign was on the other day and it trended pretty high, 500, something like that, 400. And Wayne T. Carr released the kind of finished still of his Green Lantern image, which was pretty cool to see. We didn't get to see the scene, of course, maybe in the future we will. But yeah, it looked like a complete shot, which is fantastic. Doesn't mean the scene's complete, but it means that that particular shot is
Yeah,
complete.
it's the
And he
scene
looks
is not
cool.
complete.
Suit looks awesome. He's a big guy. Like he looks fantastic. He looks so good as John Stewart. And yeah, he kind of wants his scene to get out there. He wants to play the character again, of course. And this is a scene that was cut from Zack Snyder's Justice League. At the end, it was supposed to be Green Lantern visiting Bruce, not Martian Manhunter. Martian Manhunter was supposed to have his scene transforming from Marta into Martian Manhunter, of course. But at the end, the Lanterns were supposed to come to Bruce and warn him about Darkseid and team up and have resistance ready for that. So that would have been awesome. That would have been really, really cool. But it was cut. Warner Brothers would not let it happen. Zach shot that scene in his driveway, which is awesome, pretty cool. And yeah, I like the shot, but it's one of those things like the Zack Snyder's Justice League was supposed to be his like vision, but it ended up it was his vision, but like they still cut scenes on him. So yeah, I want to see Wayne T. Carr's scene. I want to see what he looks like in full motion interacting with Ben Affleck's Batman.
I agree. And here's a video that Dave the Film Junkie put together, which kind of shows the history of how this came to be. So check it out.
Who did the scene for us was a guy named Wayne T. Carr, and he's an amazing actor, amazingly kind gentleman. And I told him, I said, look, there's a chance that this doesn't make it in the movie. We are shooting it in my driveway. So I'm not 100% sure he thought it was real.
Of course not.
Yeah.
Of course not. I thought he was playing around. I get to his house and I'm just like, okay.
Are we making a fan film, Zach?
I had no idea, and he had it all. He had it all set up, and I was like, oh, you know, and this is a real thing.
So yeah, there he is, Venti Car. I would love to see the scene one day. Of course, it's not canon anymore because the Martian Manhunter scene happened, which is also awesome because I actually like Martian Manhunter more. He's one of my favorite Justice League members, so I was so happy to see that. But I also want to see this scene because Green Lantern obviously is a pretty awesome character, and with the finished effects and all that, I would love to see it. So just as an alternate scene or alternate ending or something like that, you can just release it someday. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and like if Zach had to come back and make his Justice League 2, Wendy Carr would come in some capacity there as well as Green Lantern, as John Stewart. So there's still hope we get to see him. And we heard reports that Martian Manhunter will be in the Flash movie.
Yeah.
Wendy Carr, like hopefully it'd be cool to see him play the character. He's kind of an unknown actor. He's not like a big actor, but like Ray Fisher wasn't either. Zach usually casts these actors that nobody really knows, and they're fantastic and perfect for the role. So I'm sure Wayne T. Carr would be amazing to watch as Green Lantern, and in Justice League 2. Hopefully that comes to fruition, and we get to see him kick some ass because that was cool. I really like the Green Lantern scene in the history lesson.
Mm-hmm.
With the Darkseid, and also the Nightmare one where the
Yeah.
Kilowog, is that the Green Lantern?
Just tell you.
He was dead, probably killed by Superman. Like, that's really badass and cool. And yeah, so I want to see more Green Lanterns definitely in the DC universe because it's a big character. We haven't seen it since Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, and they deleted this scene
Yeah,
because
and-
they're making a movie
yeah.
about Hal Jordan and John Stewart Green Lanterns, which was also announced in 2014, by the way.
Yeah. And well, first off, I just want to say the record. Thank God it's Wayne T. Carr, not
Yes.
Tyrese Gibson.
Yeah,
You remember?
that.
You remember when Tyrese Gibson was like campaigning forever to be
Yep.
to be John Stewart? Yeah. So I mean, yeah, Wayne looked. First off, I'm surprised that costume is CG. It doesn't
Yeah.
look CG one bit. But yeah, I mean, I hope. I've always had hope that WB re-releases Zack Snyder's Justice League on Blu-ray and puts in a ton of bonus material on it, because that's always my issue with the copy that I own, which is that there's no like
Yeah.
bonus material on it. Like, I'd like to have a director's commentary track.
They didn't give a
leads into
shit. They just wanted the
documentary.
movie out and just be done with it.
Pretty much. But I have hope that at some point that they would re-release it with more bonus material and include the Green Lantern scene in it.
I hope so too. And yeah,
Yeah.
the Mar, you said that the Flash movie could have a Green Lantern and it could be him, right? That also is another bonus that we could add, is now possible, because he was just released now and the movie got pushed back like almost a year. And if you want to add another character, like, post-credit scene or the ending or whatever, he's right there.
Yeah, be cool. I know a lot of people. There's people out there that don't want the DC universe to touch anything that Zack does. Like, when they lose their shit over this stuff. Like, look at the Fox X-Men universe, stuff like that. But like, you can have the Snyderverse, you can have the DC universe. They can overlap, and they don't have to overlap. You can pick and choose. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day, to be honest with you, because Zack could come back and say, "Look, my canon for my Justice League 2 story is Wonder Woman 1, Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and maybe that little story beat that was in Aquaman 1 or Aquaman 2, I'm going to use that as well." He can just pick and choose. And the same with the DC universe. They can pick and choose as well. They're using the same actors. Might be using some of the same story and stuff like that. So, look, it's not as deep as people wanted to make it out to be, at all. All it takes is one executive, one director coming in and saying, "Look, I really like what he did with that character in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I want to use that character here. I want to use that tone." That's all it takes. It's not as deep as people think. The studio isn't run as as hard as Kevin Feige runs Marvel at all. It isn't. They have a story. They have a mapped out plan. DC doesn't. So anything is possible. Anything is possible. So that's why we have the Batman. That's why we have the Joker. That's why we have these multiverses. So it's not as deep as people. I watch the movies as they come. If they use certain things, that's cool. If they don't, that's cool as well. For me, my continuity of it all is that it's a multiverse, and I'm just going to pick and choose what I watch and what's fun and what's not. And we get things like the Joker, which is amazing, and I can still enjoy Jared Leto in the Nightmare scene in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I can still enjoy, if Matt Reeves has the Batman in his movies too. So it's not that
Peacemaker was a perfect example of how you have the Snyderverse characters in the DCEU and keep them intact. Like, the visuals and the characters were definitely, the same as Zack Snyder's Justice League, as opposed to completely changing them, what they did in Justice League's 2017 or, Shazam, whatever, because, they played the old Superman theme on top of it, walking, which was stupid. But at least, Peacemaker, they kept it intact. They looked just like they did in, just 1 year ago that we saw them in Zack Snyder's Justice League. There was the continuity because the Flash didn't have his new costume yet, and because he's gonna take that next year. But Aquaman had the Aquaman costume because that happened after Zack Snyder's Justice League. So,
and I don't mind either because he made $1 billion at the box office.
Yeah,
so it makes sense.
And also, Batman and
People-
Cyborg was supposed to be there, and Batman had the tactical
so-
suit, as we saw the
Yeah.
the double wearing.
which is Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Like that's his. He come up with that concept when he was making the movies. But also like the Superman, people were saying Superman within the red suit and stuff like that. But like Superman proves at the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League, he has all them suits. You can just pick and choose which one he wants to wear, really. But also, if you're going to bring Superman in for a cameo like that, and it's not Henry Cavill, you're better off to have him in the traditional suit
Yeah.
because, you know, what's the point of having him in a black suit? People might be confused and stuff, especially if people who didn't see the Snyder Cut. So, like, if you're going to use him as a cameo, of course you'd use the traditional suit. So I didn't have a problem with that, especially when it wasn't the actor in the role.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I personally looked at that moment as kind of like the gag with the X-Men and Deadpool 2,
Yep.
where it's just not there to, you know, insinuate the, you know, a connection to the universe. It's not like we'll see Peacemaker and Justice League 2 or anything like that, but it's just kind of like a gag.
I agree. It also
Wonder
gives
Woman-
respect to the
Wonder Woman
larger
had her
universe.
sword.
Oh yeah, that's true, Mar. That's true.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, she actually had a character sword.
Yeah, so
Continuity after Zack Snyder's Justice League.
yeah. It's not good continuity, but it's continuity.
Yeah, she wasn't there to fight with love. She was there to fight with a sword. But, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was saying, it was a perfect example of how you can pick and choose characters from one universe to the other and still keep the integrity intact. And I think that would even amplify further in the coming movies because you have Wonder Woman popping up in these different movies and hopefully Superman popping up. Then you have Ben Affleck's Batman in The Flash, you know, and Aquaman also showing up in The Flash. So yeah, I'm looking forward to how that's going to go. I'm hoping that they add Cyborg and hopefully Green Lantern. I know that we never got to see him in Zack Snyder's Justice League, and I would much prefer that he debuts in Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. But I also kind of would love to see him pop up in Flash as a cameo, you know. It would be cool.